From Popsicles to Tycoon. If I say the name Saúl Canelo Alvarez, what is the first thing that comes to your mind? Boxing? Belts? Knockouts? Sure, he is the pound-for-pound king. But let me tell you what I see. I see the sharpest businessman in the history of Latin sports. A man who makes $50 million for 36 minutes of work. And that is just his tip. While most boxers end up broke, as we saw with Tyson, Canelo is building an empire of gas stations, convenience stores, and real estate that will pay him for the rest of his life. Today, we are going to discover how the kid who sold popsicles on local buses became the owner of the gas you put in your car. This is From Popsicles to Tycoon. The origin, it's not just marketing. Many people believe the selling popsicles story is just marketing to make him look humble, but it isn't. It is the foundation of his financial education. At 5 years old, Saúl wasn't playing video games. He woke up early to help his father make ice pops and hopped on public buses in Jalisco to sell them. He made about 700 pesos a week, roughly $35. There he learned two things schools don't teach. First, sales. If you don't offer, you don't eat. It doesn't matter how good your product is. If you don't know how to sell it, you starve. Second, the value of money. He knew exactly how much effort it took to earn every single coin. That ant-worker mentality is what separates him from boxers who act like divas from day one. The Mayweather lesson. To understand Canelo the businessman, we have to travel back to 2013. Canelo was 23 years old and faced Floyd Mayweather. That night, Canelo lost in the ring. He was schooled. But while licking his wounds in the locker room, Canelo understood something vital. He saw how Mayweather wasn't just a boxer, he was a brand. Money, Mayweather controlled everything, sold the fight, played the villain and the hero, and took home the biggest bag. Canelo didn't get depressed, he took notes. He understood that to get the massive checks, hitting hard isn't enough. You have to own the show. That defeat was his master's degree in business. He decided he would never be the B side of a negotiation again. The golden cage, here comes the real conflict. For years, Canelo was the golden goose for Oscar de la Hoya and his company Golden Boy Promotions. In 2018, he signed the largest contract in sports history at the time. $365 million for 11 fights with DAZN. Everyone celebrated. Canelo is king, the headline said. But Canelo, who reads the fine print, realized it was a trap. He took the punches, he put his face on the line, but Oscar de la Hoya made the decisions on who to fight and took a massive cut without stepping into the ring. Canelo felt trapped. He wasn't a partner, he was a luxury employee. What did he do? The unthinkable. In 2020, in the middle of the pandemic, he sued his own promoter, his mentor Oscar de la Hoya, and DAZN for $280 million. He said, "Either pay me what I'm worth and let me decide my fights, or I'll see you in court." It was a high-stakes poker move. He could have lost his career and been frozen legally for years. Before we see how he won that lawsuit, let me ask you something. Canelo invests in gas because he knows it's a safe business. But what is your safe business? The best investment you can make today doesn't cost millions. It's free. Subscribe to this channel. Here, we analyze the tricks of millionaires so you don't make the mistakes of the poor. Hit that red button. It's the only investment with guaranteed infinite returns. Ready? Okay, now let's see how Canelo broke free. Free agent, the real business. Canelo won his freedom, and by becoming a free agent, he changed the rules of the game forever. He no longer fights for a fixed salary. Now, he is the promoter with Canelo Promotions. Listen to this, because it is financial madness. Now, when Canelo fights in Las Vegas, he takes 80% of everything, not just the fight purse. If you buy a beer at the stadium, money for Canelo. If you buy a ticket from a scalper, money for Canelo. If you watch the pay-per-view at home, money for Canelo. He went from being the employee of the circus to being the owner of the circus. That single decision multiplied his fortune by 10 in the last 3 years. Luxury versus assets. Now, don't get confused. Canelo likes to spend. He has a ranch in Guadalajara that looks like a small city. He has a collection of thoroughbred horses worth more than your house. And his garage, phew. Ferrari LaFerrari, Bugatti Chiron, Mercedes G-Wagon 6S6. We are talking about millions of dollars in toys. But here is the key difference with Mike Tyson. Tyson bought tigers with money he didn't have, using credit. Canelo buys Ferraris with the returns on his investments. It is the golden rule. Use your assets to pay for your luxuries. First, create the gas station business, and with the profits from the gas, buy the horse. Never the other way around. The Upper Empire. Canelo knows a brutal truth. Boxing has an expiration date. One bad punch and it's all over. That's why, while he trains, his money works silently in boring but massive businesses. 1. Canelo Energy. He launched his own chain of gas stations. He plans to open over 100 in Mexico. Why gas? Because everyone needs it, crisis or not. 2. Upper Stores. These are his answer to 7-Eleven, but they aren't normal stores. They have high-end technology, gourmet coffee, and sell his own products. It is a premium convenience store. 3. VMC and Yayosa. Canelo doesn't promote Gatorade. He created their competition. VMC are his ready-to-drink tequila cocktails, and Yayoka are his hydration serums. 4. Real estate. He receives between $4 and $5 million quarterly just from rent on his properties. Literally, Canelo could retire tomorrow and still make millions while he sleeps. The golf secret. There is one final piece to this puzzle that almost everyone misses. If you follow Canelo on social media, you'll see he spends more time on golf courses than in the boxing ring. Critics say he is getting distracted, but Canelo is smart. He knows that golf is the universal language of business. On the golf course, you aren't fighting, you are closing deals with CEOs, bankers, and business owners. Canelo has said, "Boxing is my job, but golf is my future." He is using this sport to enter social circles where fists don't matter, but connections mean everything. It is the exact same strategy Michael Jordan used, using sports to get a seat at the owner's table. Conclusion: the billionaire goal. People keep analyzing his hooks to the liver, but they miss the real show. Canelo Alvarez doesn't just want to be a boxing champion. He has stated in interviews that his goal is to be a billionaire, with a B. He wants to join the club of Michael Jordan and Tiger Woods. And he is getting there, not with his fists, but with his mind. Tyson lost $400 million because he trusted others. Canelo is on his way to $1 billion because he trusts himself. The next time you watch one of his fights, don't just look at the gloves. Look at the mind of a man who went from selling popsicles on a bus to trying to buy the whole world. What would you do if you had his fortune? Would you spend it on luxury or open businesses? Let me know in the comments below, and if you want to know the story of the soccer player who makes more money on Instagram than scoring goals, subscribe, because that is the next video. I'm your financial coach. Thanks for watching.